We've been looking at Facebook science now for about 6 months, and I am still surprised at least once when I'm researching these videos. It seems that even I can still be surprised by some things. Let's see if this month's Facebook science is any different. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, back to today's video where we're once again diving into the murky world of Facebook science, if for nothing else but to expose its ridiculousness. And we start with this absolute belter. Atheist logic. This sandcastle came up by chance after millions of years of erosion. Now, of course, this is a variation of the watch analogy argument, which Richard Dawkins so fantastically annihilates in his book, The Blind Watchmaker. Ironically, erosion is much like natural selection. It is blind and it sculpts without foresight or purpose. Moving on, please, to our next post. The sun tells you what time it is, the moon tells you what day it is, and the stars tell you what month it is, just like a perfectly designed timepiece. Okay, the sun does tell you roughly what time of the day it is, but you'd have to be a pretty studious astronomer to figure out the day based on the moon's location or phases. And yes, the stars can give you a rough idea of the time of year if you're already aware of their positions at the times of year anyway. But all of that is because of the incredibly hard observational work we have done as a species throughout time. We know what's going to happen in the future because we've mapped the sky so bloody well in the past. The Earth doesn't need to be flat for us to have achieved that. Moving on, we've got another interesting flat Earth one. Ever wondered why a rainbow is shaped like a dome? Well, here's your answer. That's not an answer, that's a poor deduction. And if that's the case, the Earth would be the size of a small village. Of course, rainbows are actually full circles as the light refractive follows the shape of the sun. However, we can only normally see the rainbow when it is projected against the sky, which is why it appears to be above the horizon. Moving on, let's look at our next post. We all have trillions of viruses in our body called our immune system. When our body becomes overloaded from chemicals, etc., the virus breaks down toxic residue in the cell and creates toxic waste which needs to be expelled so we feel sick. It is called a viral detoxification. Viruses are not contagious. They cannot jump species. You can only catch a virus if it is injected into your body, incubated in a petri dish with animal and human tissue via a toxic shot. Wow, so much wrong and so little time. Now, of course, our immune system is not made from viruses and they are indeed contagious. And finally, it is very rare, but viruses can jump species. You only need to look at the swine flu issue to know that. Okay, next up we have this one. Frequencies. 174 Hz removes pain. 285 Hz influences energy field. 396 Hz liberates you of fear and guilt. 417 Hz facilitates change, etc, etc. DNA not only reacts to but can be repaired with certain frequencies. Right, let's try this one. Oh. No, still bloody hurts. Next please. I have used countless indoor and outdoor swimming pools. The surface of the pool is parallel with the uppermost edge of the pool's cavity, otherwise the water would tilt out of the pool and collect on one side. Someone else from the school who thinks a spherical Earth would be the size of a small house. Water stays in a pool and sits parallel to the sides of the pool because of gravity, my friend. It really is simple as that. Moving on everyone, let's see what else we've got. There was a case study that showed a severe autistic come back from being treated with medical marijuana. Source? I am always a little taken aback when people talk about their children as damaged goods. What if, just what if, the way they are created is exactly who they need to be for us and for our world? What if we decided that we need to be the ones to change to make room for those amazing humans? What a truly lovely way of putting things there from that poster at the bottom. And yes, of course, there is no source because this didn't happen. Next please. We live in a country that creates its own money, yet still can't afford to feed the homeless or fund education. Let that sink in. You know how you know when you're looking at a conspiracy theorist posts? When you see the words "let that sink in." If you print more money, then more money will be available, which means the demand for stuff will be greater because everyone can afford that stuff. And then companies will increase their prices because of that demand, and inflation will skyrocket. It will probably cause more problems than solve. Okay, next up we have this beauty. Hidden in plain sight. Nice wink also. Hidden in plain sight. Where exactly? Where am I looking? This is a massive stretch, it really is. What an odd post. It's a leprechaun, that is all. Next please. Good lordy, they must have got her in quick after that to shave her Adam's apple down. Okay, my first thought here was, who the hell cares? And secondly, what does it matter? It doesn't change the person who she is, even if she was transgender. Very, very narrow-minded view there. Okay, right, moving on. Our next post, please. The moon is not a rock in space. The moon is its own light source. Rocks don't reflect light, neither does the moon. Tim, literally everything that you see reflects light. It's how vision works. Great response from Tim there. And of course, an excellent example how flat earthers don't have that basic science understanding in their education. Because if they did, they wouldn't be making claims like that. Next up, please. Delaware is fake. Most companies incorporate there. Maybe it's convenient to have a fake location act as an authority over them or something. South is the centre of flat earth. There's no icy land there. Emperor penguins are a hoax. Fake as in nobody lives there, or less people than we are told, or as in the place doesn't even exist. Doesn't exist, like North Korea. Pictures are from other places, set pieces, Photoshop. It doesn't look like a real life physical location. Maybe there's land where they say it is, or maybe not. Their maps aren't reliable. Maybe you should say no civilians live there yet, it's a government base or something, but then there's still not a USA state anymore. So I'd say it doesn't exist. Okay, let me see if I've got this right. Delaware is fake, emperor penguins are a hoax, and North Korea doesn't exist. Anything else? Have I got that right? Doesn't need anything else really, does it? Oh, I'm sure they've got tons of evidence though to back up their claim. Oh, of course, none. Next please, black and gold Freemasonry colours. Honestly, if you start looking for patterns in things, then you're going to find them, no matter what you're looking at. It really is a genuine waste of time and effort. Much like gematria. Let's see if he picks that one up, then I'll know he's watching my videos. The chemicals from the sky falls down into the ground. It absorbs into the soil, grass and water. The animals eat and drink and you eat the animals. You breathe the chemicals in and they absorb through skin. Don't think it won't affect you. Hashtag chemtrails. Hashtag geogenocide. How long do you plan on staying quiet? Just think about this for 1 minute. If the powers that be are really spraying the skies as you say they are, then surely it will affect them just as much as it's affecting us. Why would they do that? Just think about that. Moving on to our next post. I recommended urine for my friend's mother's neck tumour, which was the size of half a football. It was insane. On the urine and on putting your impacts on the side of her neck, she detoxed out too quickly and passed away. She lost her will to live as all of that, the swelling, the tumour went down like 60% just on urine. Was crazy, very healing modality. Urine therapy again! Just think, the NHS is wasting millions and millions of pounds every year when all they could do is just utilise the urine. Crazy, isn't it? The fact that they haven't done that is sort of a clue, guys. Moving on again. Menstruation is a disease. When you menstruate, are you at ease? Female humans are not designed to hemorrhage vaginally. Common does not mean normal/natural. This is utterly ridiculous. But of course, what is beautifully ironic is the poster of this comment wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the female reproductive system. Silly, isn't it? Our penultimate post is incoming. Just saw this and, well, there you go. In your face. If you can't see it after 20 years, you aren't meant to. Oh, for Pete's sake, really? This is the most ridiculous post I've ever seen. Where's the connection? What does it even mean? Utter nonsense. Let's move on to our final post quickly, please. I'm having a hard time finding proof of Europeans' existence prior to the Renaissance period. Definitely nothing of BC times for sure. Wow, so this would be pre-14th century then. Alfred the Great is like, am I a joke to you? Look him up if you don't know. Right, well there we go. Another fabulous look at the world, the crazy world of Facebook science. I do hope you enjoyed it. Can't believe we're on episode 8 already. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do consider subscribing. As I said, this is the 8th. There's 7 episodes of Facebook science still to watch. You can go back and watch all of those. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that like button as well. Just enough time to once again thank I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week. I'll see you all on Friday for Flat Earth Fail compilation 35. See you then.